You know, here in Polk County, there are many, many ways to raise money for those in need. One of the most unique ways is the group that's joining me in studio now. They bring boat racing to the shores of Lake Alfred, and it is probably the coolest thing you will ever see on water. I apologize, skiers. Fast boats are much cooler. If you're a skier, I really do apologize, but I'm just telling the truth. Joining us in studio, talk a little bit about the 2015 USTS Pro Hydroplane boat races is Steve Fawcett. Steve is the event chairperson for the Lake Alfred Lions Club. Also joining us is R.C. Howie. He's a boat driver for the U.S. Title Series. And last but not least, the character of the event, Bill Hosler. Bill is the event promoter. You wouldn't guess, but he says he's a retired driver, and he's with the Race for the Kids U.S. Title Series. How you doing, Bill?
Pretty good. I raced until I was 80.
Yeah? So that was just, what, a week or two ago, right?
Yeah, I wished it was.
Yeah. Let's talk with you first, Steve. Talk to me a little bit about bringing the event to Lake Alfred. How does that work?
Well, it's been an event there for many years. They've been racing on there since back in the 30s, and we decided that all of a sudden we wanted to change up different things about how to bring more people into Polk County and spread out what we can. And Bill Hosler and Gary Levins, and they all got together and they started doing hydroplane racing. And they've been racing there, and the Lions Club was like, well, let us get involved. How can we help? And after we started talking to them, and they said they wanted to do it there, and we've started doing it there ever since. And it's been good. And there was a couple years that it went away for a while, and now we're trying to bring it back. We're trying to make sure that everybody has a good time. You know, it's just something about. I've been in racing for a long time, so I enjoy it. And if we can bring it to a small town like that, let's do it. And let's try to raise, get money for local families and the blind, and just everybody have fun with it.
Yeah. And one of the things that's unique about the race in Lake Alfred is the venue. The Lake Alfred Lions clubhouse is kind of right there, and it's on the shores of that, and you've got the things for the kids to do, and then of course the lake itself. You know, back a while back when when the chain of lakes was so hard to get through, that was one of my favorite lakes to put the boat in.
Yeah, and there's still a lot of people that love being there. And after we did the boat races last year, the World Finals, I've never really heard a lot of people talk about it, but. And all of a sudden I started getting emails about people that said they loved it, they enjoyed our event there, they want to come back, when can we do another one? And it's like, I've got to do it. I got to make sure we continue the racing in Lake Alfred because the people enjoy it too much. So.
And not to mention Lake Alfred as a backdrop. It's it's very quiet, very quaint, great little town to have a lot of fun in, and especially bring an event like that.
Yeah, and we try to we encourage everybody to come out. It's not just for a certain type of people. It's for anybody that wants to see what Lake Alfred is about, what boat racing is about. Because these racers, they put their heart and souls in it, and for somebody to come out and be able to just appreciate them, that's all they really ask for. They want to put on a good show, but they also want the people to come out and sit there and see them and say, you know what, this is a good deal. I enjoyed it. Thank y'all for putting on a show.
R.C., and taking a little bit of what Steve had said, it's putting on a quality show for families that come to see this for the first time. But the thing that people don't realize is the racers run the gamut of ages. I mean, I've covered the event a couple times, and there's been kids and all the way up to Bill's age. Yeah. What is that, like 50-something, Bill?
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about how it's a family-friendly sport.
It is a family sport. 4 generations in some cases. The Eldridges are working on the 5th. Those kids will be growing up before we know it and be out there racing the K-Pro class, and that's for kids 11 to 16, I think.
Yes, 11 to 16.
Gee, I wrote the tech manual. I don't even know the rules. So we have the class for the kids to start in, and they learn how to start, they learn how to handle themselves on the water, get to know what the rules are, learn how to set up boats, and take it from there. And some of those kids are national champs now. World champs. We just crowned the world champion in 175 hydro.
And there's also been speed records on that lake also.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I think there's 7 that still stand, aren't there?
They've run record courses of various sizes, because we've had competition courses that go from 3/4 of a mile to a mile to 1.25 miles to 1 2/3 miles. And in the old days, the straightaway records were 1 mile, and they went to kilometers.
Yeah. Without breaking every class down, there's different types of boats. There's ones that have capsules, and then other ones don't have capsules. Kind of briefly explain the difference between a couple of the different things.
Well, we
that you'll
have
see.
2 styles of boats. We have the hydroplane and the runabout, and then we have 2 hydroplane classes that use the capsules. Because of the speeds they're going, they feel it's safer to encapsulate it.
And no speeds are?
The record's like 127.
Wow.
That's just going fast in a straight line.
Yeah.
They're probably hitting 105 down the straightaway before they have to turn.
Okay. So that's the hydroplanes are the ones with the capsules, and then the other boats.
Well, there's
with,
also hydroplanes where most of the drivers are laying down. Some still opt to kneel, which is the traditional old position. So you're on your knees, you have one hand on the steering wheel, you have one hand on the throttle. That's how most of the runabout drivers
and Bill wouldn't
run.
know anything about that old position, would he?
Broke my neck and hit in West Virginia.
It's not funny, but I love hearing you tell that story. So, and one thing that the folks have got to realize, safety is rule number 1 for you guys. You've got folks out on the water, and the people go through, especially in the capsule boats, they've got to go through a process to show that they can get out of the boat and do, and try and protect themselves until the safety crews can get there.
Yeah, that's almost a whole different category than the other classes, because they're strapped in like in a car. They have a 5-point harness. They have an air system. So if they go over backwards and the boat doesn't right itself, they have to be able to open their capsule lid, and the steering wheels are removable. Some of them actually like the steering wheel because they can use it as a handle. You got to imagine being upside down,
Everything's
and you're
180
going to have
out.
to pull yourself around and pop out of the water, because the flotation in their particular suits is minimal. Because if they have too much flotation, it keeps pushing them back into the boat. They found that out early on. You can't wear the conventional life jacket.
Yeah.
And their situation's different. With the other classes, a lot of times we're just thrown clear of the boat, so you take your chances of getting run over. But that's where we have cut-resistant pants, cut-resistant sleeves. Life jackets have impact material in them. So we try.
Bill, how have you seen the sport evolve over the years, from the time that you've gone from a racer to now a promoter?
When I first started racing, I had one of those old leather-covered Cromwell race car hats, and the jackets had ribs in them and stuff like that. Now, like he says, it's much, much safer. If somebody goes over, there's somebody on them right away. And the driver himself, when he hits the water, if he's okay, is supposed to check himself, see if he's okay. Then he gives a hand signal, and if he don't give the hand signal, here the rescue boats go. It's a whole lot safer, but it's a whole lot faster too than when I first started. When I first started, we were running in the 40s. Now we're running in the 90s and 100s.
I want you to talk a little bit about sharing that passion of racing and giving back to the community, giving back to the kids. How did that come about? I mean, that just seems incredible for a bunch of racers to want to take care of the kids within the community.
They do. Because they are basically, like RC said, family. And I've raced against my daughter and my son, many, many years ago. In fact, we were racing at Punta Gorda one year. My daughter cut me off and hit my boat and just turned around and smiled. So, but that's a lot of years ago, too. Right now, everything has changed, and if these people want to see something exciting, they can relate the starts to the motocross racing, where they start off at what they call a Le Mans, and they go from there. And they go into the first turn about I would guess maybe 20, 25 miles an hour. But in the class that RC runs, you can imagine these are clock starts. So it's up to the guy to get there on time. When they go into the first turn, 11 or 12 boats, and running 100 miles an hour, sitting on their knees, the guy that comes out front's got Brunswick stamped on his.
Steve, with a little bit of time that we've got left, I want you to encourage the folks to make sure they make the trip to Lake Alfred and check out the series.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'd love to see them. And if they need more information, we have a Facebook page for the Lake Alfred Lions Club. They can also call my area code 863-557-6986 for more information on it. And we want everybody to come out and just support the racers. It's all about being family and having a good time for the weekends, and we'll open the gates up at 7 o'clock in the morning so they don't have to worry about it.
All right. Well, Bill, Steve, RC, I want to thank you for coming in and joining us today, talking a little bit about the event. And anytime that you guys have this event to promote, look forward to seeing you and talking, especially you, Bill.
Because I'm a bad guy, right?
Exactly, you're a bad guy. And I tell you what, at home, if you have never been to the event, this is something that you definitely want to check out. Make sure you make the trip and check out the 2015 USTS Pro Hydroplane boat races. It all happens Friday, April 24th to Sunday, April 26th from 10 to 5 daily, and it goes on at the Lions Park. That's 175 North Nakoma Avenue in Lake Alfred. Price per person is $5 per person, and children under 10 get in free. If you need more information, you can give Steve a call at 863-557-6986, or check him out on Facebook at LakeAlfredLionsClub.com. Keep in mind, the money that's raised will help support the local Lions Club, iBank, and their other community projects.